Hey, how's it going? It's Kırwe, and today it's time to talk about the new Nike KD 16. Like I said, it's time to talk about the KD 16s, and obviously this is what inspired me to mention Time, because normally Time is associated with a different NBA player, a superstar, but this time it seems that KD might be saying that him and his new team are ready to work, you know, like the perfect machine, or that things will function like clockwork, and that now it's the right time for Kevin Durant and all the other Phoenix Suns to rise to the top, but we'll see about that. Here it is. Here's the Nike KD 16. I have to say, a great looking shoe, a great performing shoe from the time that I spent with it here in the Gross Basket store in Zagreb, trying it on our basketball court. But before we get into that, I mentioned the Phoenix Suns, and obviously you can see I'm wearing the Phoenix Suns outfit. If you're a Suns fan, we have plenty of Suns gear in our store, so make sure to check it out. But obviously the main reason we are here today is because of Kevin Durant and his shoes. And, you know, KD's been keeping busy. He has one of the best signature lines, and he is by many considered one of the greatest signature athletes, because it's not easy to release 16 shoes in a row. You know, not a lot of people have done that. You know, I don't know, maybe just Michael Jordan and LeBron James. So it speaks a lot about KD, and it's not just the fact that he's a great player, that, you know, he has a following of fans, but he puts out these great shoes. And even with the controversy that surrounds him, you know, he's been known to use burner accounts on social media, demand trades and leave teams behind him. So there's a lot of people who are not fans of him. But when it comes to his shoes, there's just hardly anyone who would be complaining about them or saying anything negative, because truly these are great performing shoes, and I also think that they're great looking. Personally, you know, I guess I'm already becoming an old school guy now, not a boomer, but you know, these shoes remind me of, well, I think it was like mid-90s, 96 or something like that, when the Nike Air Penny 2s came out, and they had, you know, a similar TPU part here on the side. So definitely reminds me of that, which I think is, you know, just looks great on the shoe. And speaking of the side TPU panel, we can see that it's different than it was last year or 2 years before, when we even had the strap. You know, it's more minimalistic, but that doesn't take away from the lockdown performances of the shoe, because it has a great combination of upper and the lacing system, and you don't have to worry about, you know, a proper lockdown of your foot. So that's one of the first things that I wanted to address, and one of the first things that I was looking for in the shoe when I was trying it on. Also, speaking of the upper, we see here that their synthetic leather is being used. So that's something new for the KD line, or at least for the recent models. Then we also have multi-layered mesh here. And here, obviously, just the two different colorways. And it's a great solution because it's breathable. You know, your foot will not get hot, and it's well ventilated. And actually, the tongue also helps in that regard when it comes to ventilation or breathability of the shoe. So great things going on there. I guess next up we can get into the tech specs, and maybe a lot of people will be surprised by the fact that there's no more full-length zoom strobel in the KD line. But this change is not a negative thing, because we still have air strobel, but only in the back portion of the shoe, as you can see here. And then there's zoom air in the front, and you know, just works great. You get the comfort, you get the nice bouncy feeling in the shoe. So I am definitely a fan of this. It is strange to see, you know, such a change, especially when the previous solution was so great, but I don't think that it takes away from the KD 16. It is still a great performing shoe. And now we can basically move on to perhaps the best part of the shoe, and it takes us back to the clock-like mechanism, you know, talking about whether it's time for KD and the Phoenix Suns to rise to the top. But basically, we see this mechanism, we can see it better here. the mechanism. So you see these little gears or cogs, and what's great about them is that they're multi-directional. So obviously you're not gonna have any problems, you know, controlling your movements on the basketball court. I do have to point out that it's better or best to use these shoes indoors only. Technically, I think they would work outside as well, but I think the durability might be an issue if you take these shoes outside. So definitely, we've written blogs and we always have recommendations if you're looking for shoes for outdoors, which ones you could use. But the KD16s, almost exclusively just use them indoors. That's our recommendation. And also another recommendation is about the sizing. I actually did a test here and I put on double socks for this shoe just to see how it would work. So that's basically like simulating, you know, having a wider foot. And if you have a wider foot, you definitely have to go a half a size up. If you have a regular size foot, you can go true to size. But I know that there's been people in the past telling me about previous KD models that even if they had a regular size foot, they still played and actually went with half a size up. So these are, you know, the recommendations. If you have a chance, come to the store, try these shoes on. So either here in Zagreb or in Ljubljana in Slovenia or in Budapest in Hungary, it's the safest thing to do when it comes to sizing. But if you're ordering them online, these are, you know, the guidelines that you can follow. The bottom line is, the shoe is great. I'm super excited about it. I'm even excited about the Suns this season. They're not necessarily my top team, but with all the changes they did, you know, bringing in Bradley Beal and finally, you know, having KD and Booker coming out with his own Nikes soon. We're excited about that as well. So it should be a great season, and I'm also obviously looking forward to all the new colorways that we'll be getting. Right now we have these two, so if you have the chance, like I said, come visit us, check out the shoe. Until then, keep supporting us. If you haven't done that already, subscribe to our channel, give us a like, leave a comment, and that's it. Thanks for support.